Hello everybody, and welcome to the court. Today, we have the case of Rothbard versus the state. And now, the plaintiff's counsel will give his opening argument.
Your Honor, defense, members of the jury, we are here today on behalf of our three plaintiffs because of the heinous crimes committed by the state. We have taxation, conscription, and war. I know that by the end of this day, by the end of this court hearing, that you will find the state guilty of crimes against humanity.
I've been caught stealing once when I was 5. I ain't just stealing, I'm just sick from the back. Well, let's just stay simple fact. When I want something, man, I don't want to pay for it. Now walk right.
I would like to call the victim of taxation to the stand.
Liv, please tell us what happened on the day that the state forcibly stole your money.
I knew that the state was coming around to collect taxes.
Objection, Your Honor. Attacking me as a person rather than the process.
You are overruled. Continue.
Knowing that the state had a habit of collecting extremely high taxes, I had to take precaution. I hid my money when the state came, and I told them that I didn't have anything.
You had to hide your money from the state. Are we living in 1984 right now? Is the state Big Brother? Do you have anything more to say?
I do. He forced me out of the way. He pushed himself into my house.
He entered your home without your permission?
Yes, I did
Is
not
that
give
illegal?
express permission.
Your Honor, if anyone but the state had committed this action, it would be atrocious by any sensible human being. Why does the state have special privileges? This is theft. The state should not be allowed to take our money. The state is here to provide good things for us, and forcibly thieving from us is not a good thing.
Hey, John. What? The Army's calling you, man.
I would now like to call the next victim forward, the victim of conscription.
Would you please tell us what happened?
I was just in my home minding my own business, and I hear this knock on the door. And so I go to the door and I open it a little bit, and outside there's the state. He's just standing there, and he points and tells me to leave. But I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to go anywhere. And he's telling me I have to go to war. And so I told him, no, I don't want to. And that's when he forced me into the house.
Objection. She has a duty to serve her state.
One more peep out of you and you're out of here.
So, you said that he forcibly removed you from your home?
Yeah, he punched me and grabbed me by the wrist and dragged me out.
Physical violence. Again, the theme seems to be that the state seems to be a common criminal, guised only under the illustrious name of the state. And now we just heard from Katie, who was conscripted into the army. She was removed from her home. She was dragged from the doorway. The state punched her as she was leaving her home and dragged her into the armed forces, where she would be forced to fight for a state she doesn't believe in.
Do you know what's worth fighting for? When it's not worth dying for? Does it take your breath away?
I would now like to call the victim of war and mass murder to the stand.
Monica, could you please tell us what happened to you in war?
Well, I was sent to war. I had to fight people who I've never met. There was women, there was children. There were so many things I saw that I wish no one would hear would ever have to see.
So many things you saw. Do they remain with you to this day?
Unfortunately, every night, every day, sometimes it'll just feel like I'm back there.
That sounds a little bit like post-traumatic stress disorder, more commonly known as PTSD. So now, the state has taxed our people, dragged them to war, and given them PTSD. Is that correct?
It is very correct.
So in this war, were you forced to use weapons?
Yes, I was. I never wanted to fight. I'm not cut out for fighting, but the state sent me and I had no choice.
So the state is forcing you to do something that you do not want to do?
Yes.
To war, where she was forced to kill. We should not be forcing our subjects to kill. This is wrong. There were women and children in that war. Each individual in our country should be enraged at what the state has done.
Now, I would like to call the defense to the stand to testify in his own defense.
Your Honor, what has occurred today, there's just one reason. I did it for the welfare of the people and the good of society. I don't think anything else needs to be stated.
The state is stealing our private property. That is the most horrible act a human can commit. That is like taking our freedom. He does it for the sake of society, the sake of our nation. But what do these words really mean? These words, all they are is individuals that comprise a society. But does society ever actually refer to us, the individual? No. Society is for the benefit of everyone but me. Everyone but the individual. The state should not be allowed to do this. I implore you, jury and judge, to rule on behalf of my plaintiffs for a reduction of the power of the state, because the state should not be allowed to have this much power to where he can steal money from our people, drag children from their homes and put them in the army, and kill innocent civilians. I implore you to punish the state for his heinous crimes against humanity.
People of the court, after hearing the testimony of these terrible and heinous crimes, I hereby sentence the state to a reduction in power and 10 years in a tax-funded prison so that he can truly see where his tax dollars are going to work.
Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more.